A Business Day investigation has found illegal or cloned number plates can be bought in South Africa in as little as 20 minutes. No proof of ownership required. At three Joburg stores, just by writing a registration number on a slip of paper was sufficient. DA Trade Industry and Competition spokesperson Toby Chance has now written to three ministers demanding an emergency interministerial task team. A number plate is meant to work like DNA at a crime scene, the one identifier tying a car and who's ever behind the wheel to the offense. Clone it or fake it, and that link is gone.
If you have so many illicit number plates doing the rounds, that actually hamstrings investigations, and it's essentially making the police to chase a dark cat in a dark room, really.
License Plate Association of South Africa President Jan de Lange, who says he's been raising flags for close to 5 years, puts the stakes quite plainly.
Every time crime is committed and the Metro Police needs to act on a specific number that has been given to them, that it comes to a dead-end street. So the number is either cloned or it doesn't even exist.
And Chance doesn't hold back on the numbers.
Roughly 250,000 number plates are issued a month. And of those, they reckon that 3/5 could possibly be supplied by illegal embossers, which is a terrifying statistic.
Business Day got a reader tip that sellers were working Joburg CBD intersections at the robots in broad daylight.
There's no requirement for either your license, your ID, or vehicle registration, nothing of that sort. You can actually buy them in bulk if you so wish.
Reporters tested 3 traceable stores, and the barrier to entry was effectively zero.
It's essentially as walking to your nearest retail store to buy bread and milk, really. That's how easy it is for any rogue person in South Africa to get their hands on this illegal number plates.
And it all starts upstream, with the country's only 3 makers of blanks and embossing machines: Uniplate, NNPR, and unique number plates. De Lange says the hardware itself is the weak point: analog, uncontrolled, and untraceable.
These machines are 99.9% all the same. The manufacturers, they manufacture the exact same machine. So there's no innovation in the actual production system that embossers use in South Africa. It's actually an old French system that dates back to 1970. Now, this process is still a manual process where you actually just punch out the letters with a one-arm banded machine, letter by letter. That means that this embossing equipment is not linked to any database. It's not linked to the internet.
Uniplate, a unit of Germany's Tonyas, was the one manufacturer willing to talk to Business Day, and it conceded the obvious. It sells blanks to vetted embossers, but can't account for how its plates reach the black market.
Uniplate, which admitted that the system is imperfect, they supply the blank number plates to the lawful entities, but beyond that, they can't help it. They don't know how their own number plates that they produced end up in the hands of the black market.
In the interview, Chance read aloud from an email De Lange sent to the SABS, naming firms he alleges are caught up in the illegal trade and flagging the misuse of SABS certification numbers.
Of course, we all know from the Lange Commission and the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee what's happening in the police. So it's quite likely that there are corrupt elements. The whole supply chain and the law enforcement agencies may be implicated. So that is why I included Acting Minister Kachalia in my letter, because there has to be a full investigation. I mean, I've got an email in front of me from Mr. De Lange, which he sent to the SABS, and I'd just like to read you a couple of things from that letter. The allegations raise serious concerns about the unlawful supply of blank number plates and embossing equipment, the misuse and duplication of SABS identification numbers, manufacturers supplying non-registered embossers, circulation of potentially untraceable number plates, risks to law enforcement, crime prevention, and vehicle identification, unfair competition against compliant and registered embossers who incur substantial costs to maintain legal certification. He then goes on to list a whole lot of different companies that have been implicated in this. Companies like, I can just number plate specialists, number plates Winkle, auto color matching, licensing lady, halfway Toyota Scopra, and even WeBuyCars. So, even listed companies like WeBuyCars are involved in supposedly in a thing like this.
Lange alleges he is aware of a car that was bought from WeBuyCars with an illegal number plate, the broader allegation being that listed dealers have service providers, some on premises, providing illegal number plates to clients. Head of Administration and Risk at WeBuyCars, Sean Savell, rejected the premise outright and said the specific case had never reached him, and nor do service providers reside on premises.
Irakli, I think in the context that it's being raised, I think I should start by saying WeBuyCars is not registered as a number plate manufacturer or an embosser, and we don't manufacture number plates. What I can say to that is I'm not aware of such an allegation. Nothing like that has been brought to my attention. So let me give you context on how WeBuyCars fits in and how number plates are ordered and then attached to vehicles. So in a case where a vehicle is sold on finance, WeBuyCars would, through service providers who we have master service level agreements with, facilitate the registration into the bank's name as the title holder and the client as the owner. And then a licensing needs to be done in the province where the client resides. Now, a set of number plates will only be ordered if the number plate needs to change. I think that's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're living in Gauteng, you're buying a vehicle that's got a Gauteng plate and you registering it in Gauteng, then you don't need to change the plate. So only if it's a province shift and a new plate is required, will a plate be ordered through that process. And it's quite simple. They need the client's ID, a copy of the client's ID, and then the MVLX form, as I mentioned to you, has got the client's name and address at the top and the vehicle details. So it's very specific to a client. So there's totally no need to make a number plate for another vehicle. In fact, it can't be done because it's for that specific vehicle. In terms of our master service agreement, our service providers are requested, in fact required, let me not say requested, to facilitate the manufacturing of plates which conform to SANS 1116. So the number plate have to conform to 1116. I have never been made aware that any set of plates that was ordered or fitted to a vehicle did not conform to SANS 1116.
Running alongside is a competition case. After pressure from LAS and the DA, the Competition Commission referred the three manufacturers to the Competition Tribunal on the 19th of March over alleged price fixing.
And the pricing is the same as the legal. That's the troubling part. The pricing of this illicit number plates is the same as legal number plates. That tells you that people are not driven to buy these plates because of pricing, but because they want to avoid law enforcement.
Chance's core complaint isn't missing law, it's a government not talking to itself.
Very little coordination. In fact, they're operating in silos. It's actually a problem in government across the board that departments don't talk to each other.
Days after sending the joint letter, Chance said only one of the three ministers' officers had even acknowledged it.
I sent the letter on Monday. So far, I've only had an acknowledgement from Minister of Transport office, Barbara Creasy's office. I haven't even had acknowledgement of receipt from the other two ministers.
Chance wants the task team stood up and the problem owned at an executive level.
There are probably thousands of embossing companies out there that shouldn't be there. So they've actually got to do a proper investigation. They've got to go and close these people down. We've got to remove the embossing machines, clean up everything, and then press charges where necessary.
The Lange's ask, meanwhile, is more surgical. Start at the source.
So if you go to the manufacturers and you start with the manufacturers, they're the suppliers of the equipment, they're suppliers of the blank number plates, it would be very easy for them to get their client list, their trip sheets, and then compare this with the accredited SABS list. And then you will very quickly find out how many embossers each of these manufacturers are actually supplying illegal into the market.
And the immediate question now rests with the three ministers Chance has written to, and with a competition tribunal that is yet to rule on the price fixing. WeBuyCars says it manufactures no plates and is unaware of any non-compliant set fitted through its process. What none of the parties disputes is the underlying gap. And until the supply of blank plates and embossing machines is brought under control, a system built to identify South Africa's vehicles cannot be fully relied upon to do so. This is Biz News, Irakli.